Hello, my name is John Hernandez. I am the co-founder and programmer for the Latin American Film Festival of Dallas. You have just seen the film To the West in Zapata, and here we have the director with us, David Bim. How are you, David?
Fine, thanks, and thank you for letting me be here.
Thank you for letting us show your film. Um, I have I have a few questions, like I think regarding the making of the film. I think anyone who watches the film is going to think to themselves, okay, how do they make that? uh, But the very first question is very simple:
Hmm,
is how did you meet Lundy and his family?
hmm. Well, I think it was very organic with my kind of life. I mean, I love to travel by my own through Cuba. So, and I never planify when I'm resting or where I'm eating, or so I need people, no, to keep in that journey. So one day, as a lot of days I talk with people, and that's it. One day I was thirsty, like 10 years ago, and I asked a woman that was Mercedes for a glass of water, and she very kindly give me like a cup of coffee. That is a huge privilege in Cuba. So we start to talk in that coffee, and one of the things I I was feeling, it was like a kind of chemic between she her and me, because I think that maybe we were kind of alone, solitude. So more than what we are talking about, it was like uh, being together, doing something, So I think the key for stay there was the Danish, the little child. It was just a baby, like um, 8 or 9 years old. So he's autistic, so he's very territorial. If he doesn't allow you to be there, it's
Mhm.
impossible to rest. So he comes to me in front of me and he hugged me. And the mother Merche said, "Wow, this is not frequent, and she said, "Okay, can you stand with him a little so I can go to do the mandaos in Cuba?" The mandaos is like things I have to do, no? And
Yeah.
she has to wait until Danish is sleeping, so maybe I can do this evening. And I said, I was 23 by then. Now I'm 34. It's long time ago. So I said, "Wow, Merche, do you think I'm prepared to be with Davis? I don't know." It's and she said, "Yeah, yeah, yeah, yeah. You're fine. You're fine. You like each other." So I said, "Okay, but please don't be very late." And she said, "No, it's not a problem." So she was very late. So also when she comes back with coal and some medicines and something, it was like these thunders, like a storm. And she said, "Okay, David, could you stay with us in the living room tonight, because I'm alone, and I'm a little bit fear about with that storm and being alone with child." And I said, "Okay," because I don't have any other place to be at these hours. So then I start to be with her a lot as a mother, but also an old sister. We make that energy, and we start to live as a family. All my free time, because I'm teaching classes in Havana, in San Antonio de los Baños. So when I'm free, I come back. So one of the things I could feel very deeply is that Mercedes was very kind with me, was very kind with Dennis, also with this smile, singing. But when she feels that she was alone, she was suffering a lot, a lot. But this in that stoic,
Yeah. Yeah.
you understand, mood, and I learn, I understand that she was suffering in silence because Landy never come back in time. So I was very ignorant by because also Mercedes doesn't know and didn't know anything about Landy's life. Know what Landy told to her, like little tales to make her laugh, and like in the movie when he talks about why he lose her his teeth. But I didn't know that kind of life of Landy. So when Landy comes back once, I was very unpolite because I talked to him and I said, Landy, maybe you don't know, man, but when you are not here and you are not arriving on time, that woman is suffering because she loves you. And I could see day by day this huge rock that is also Danish and being here in silence. So Landy very kind. He was always very kind with me. He said, "You know, David, I'm getting old, and this path and this world inside the jungle is not easy. It's tough actually. So I don't know what I can do better, man. If you want, someday you can come with me and I show you. But the only condition is that." I have this big rock that is my son foot, so I can't. I'm not able to carry your things. So if you want to carry something inside, it must be in your back, And I said, okay. So when I get into the jungle with Landy and I stay with him like a couple of weeks, 3 weeks, I l- start to understand that for the very first time in my life, I was facing real love, and that was too important, much more important than myself, because for me, love is what you are able to renounce, and that two people are renouncing each other to stay together as a family. And without seeing the light at the end of the tunnel, you don't know what that situation will change in something better. So I think when you are in a very vulnerable class, time is not equal for all of us. Time is like vertical. So when you are in that in the margins, in the, I don't know how to say in English, in outside, no,
Mhm.
forgot of the rest of society. Life is like a countdown, man. Life is like a urgency. So doesn't matter if you run, if you make your best again and again, like this Sisyphus myth, that the rock always goes down and you have to start and restart again, and you will be always late. But if you are not late, you have to restart again, no?
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think what we are not able to do for ourselves as human beings, because maybe we prefer to stop to rest, and what that really means, uh, we are able to do if somebody that we love much more than ourselves, like this son that depends and is more vulnerable than them and depends completely by their actions. So what you have no strength to do for yourself, you find the strength to do over and over and over when you love somebody that depends on you. So in a world that is made by words, because living in Cuba, you turn on the radio, you turn on the TV, and always that fucking word, sorry, but it's that always are talking about a world that is not existing. You live there, and that words are only propaganda. So we as a generation doesn't believe more in words. So I don't want to destroy what I love, and I need to have some hope. So these facts, not words, in that people, in my people, for me was very, I don't know, hope. Is about what you love, and I want to build by observation a film that talk about that. What we are able to do, and if we want to build a new country with some more hope and less pain, maybe that people that is forgotten of society is essential. because they are giving us that strength we need, no, and that vulnerability and that love that we need, you know. So that's it. I don't know.
when when you say that you went into the jungle with Landy, were you already like thinking I'm going to make a film about this family, or was it just I
No,
want to know what his life is like?
yeah, you know, John, for me, cinema is not only doing films. Cinema is a kind of spiritual thing. I don't want to sound very hippie, okay, but it's like, for me, cinema is not very different about philosophy, about what you are reading, some philosophy or some meditation. Or, we need something here that is about our movement, what we are doing things for. And I think as an artist, our body, when we spend time, is our main tool of work. So I'm not thinking I'm gonna do a film here. I'm thinking, wow, I need to be here, but because what I'm feeling here moves me in some place. So I'm kind of intuitive person. Also, I work only by myself. So if I want to stay, I give me the privilege in my life to stay in that kind of life that give me some hope, some movement. So then I think for me, what I'm finding in cinema is intimacy. No, it's truth. It's something that when you put the camera, that it's something very aggressive because our behavior change when we feel that a camera is pointing to us because we want to be, I don't know, like Instagram, you know, smiling and successful and all these things. So you can avoid that, not telling a man, okay, don't look the camera, because he was not an actor. I was not even a filmmaker. It's my very first film. So I think if cinema is the art of time, we need time to belong to that places. So when you are there like 5 years as I spent there, at some point you belong to that space. But and that characters also make a relationship with you that for me are not characters anymore, are a kind of family, you know, are my family. And this relationship uh, um, steep continue after the film. So when you have that intimacy for living, also you get some intimacy for filming. And for me that is the important thing, you know, have some testimony of life that have some value for you, but you have to belong first. So I don't care how many months or years that will cost to me, because I'm not thinking about doing 25 films in my. I love cinema, but I don't know, if for survive, I need to teach, I will teach, but I don't want to take that pressure into my films. For me, my films is something that talk inside me. So if it costs like 10 years, like this film cost to me, it's okay, it's their own path. And the next film, I don't know how many times, but for me, the important thing is not about how many years it costs you, is how the intimacy you could get to have some value testimony of this thing that moved you, no.
The It's very different, for example, from like a Frederick Wiseman, which has
Yeah.
he has like a method, he has a model. I'm going to spend
Mm,
6 weeks here, and what I see is what I see. Um, but I guess he who is kind of a very small operation, even he has people around him. He doesn't hold the camera himself. He does the sound on his own films, and he has a cameraman who we trust.
hmm,
But you're out there all by yourself, right? With Landy,
hmm,
like in the jungle.
hmm,
What are the, I guess, besides, I mean, you're talking about cinema as an art of time, right? And I think that determines, for example, your shots are going to last a long time because it's not like you
hmm,
can do another setup somewhere else. When you're filming him to capture the crocodile, you're really out there, and you can't cut. You can't. because the whole point is to capture it all in that one moment that it's happening. But beyond that, just kind of what logistically are the challenges of just being out there filming by yourself?
Hmm. Well, I don't know, man, because one of the greatest things I think to just working with yourself is that maybe this kind of speeches that maybe seems very complicated are very intuitive. I think art is expression, is a human expression. We share with other human beings how we express and how we feel. So maybe for Wiseman, he has another sensitivity with reality, and I have my breath, is like music. You can dance with very fast music, and sometimes you need slow-mo to
Yeah.
have something. So for me, I need to have faith in what I'm filming, because if not, I'm not spent all these years of my life that never come back to that. So when I'm filming, of course I'm trying to observe the missing scene that characters, because we are uh, animals of with habits. We are always doing the same. We take the shower and then we put the sock and the shoes in the same order. We are not thinking about that, but we do always in the same order. So if you are observing all these times, you can do like a miss in a scene, and from this close up, that man will go to the vanishing point. But actually, I need that in that things I could anticipate and I could control by observing that will happen. Maybe something will be different because we are in present filming, and I need to have faith to be adaptable, to be available is the word. To if something happen, don't be rigid, be there. So some long takes give me that kind of joy. When I was there, I'm observing in a deep path, and sometimes something happened. For example, for me, my reveal of that film that will always be in me is that in the montage, I could see two people that look at me. Look at me, and I am the camera, so look at the camera. In the first part, Landy, when he is hunting the crocodile, at some point he loses completely the control of that hunting. And because we are friends, instinctively, he was not feeling about himself and the danger with him. He thought, fuck, I can defend David. So he looked at me very instinctively. I never saw that filming, but it was like, okay, if you want to keep filming, you are by your own, man. I can't be with you anymore. And that look of fear, of familiar fear, of friendship fear, is like a mirror in the structure that when Landy is in the pit with Danis, having fun. Danis is like my little brother. I also are some brother to him because he grew up with me. So he has this complicity with me. So he's not able to talk, but he expressed himself. So he is always missing the sea, and he misses his father because his father is carrying him to the sea, and he loves water. So when he is finally in the sea with his father, also with the water, like when Landy was hunting the crocodile, he looks at me, but the face is not about fear, it's about deeply joy, and was like, wow, do you see que rico? I'm here with daddy, playing. And it's like a mirror, bro, because with that look of Landy, of pain, of fear, you can achieve that look of joy of Danish. So all what we do, it's about achieving that, and again and again and again and again, because it's not about us, it's about the people who will love more than ourselves. So for me, that as a cinema is like, wow, that's enough. for me. I get some testimony of love. So now I get something, you know. But these are like a kind of time, you know. In time, time reveals some truth. It's hidden in time, you know.
How do they feel about the film? Like now that I guess the film is completed, were they did you like show them like
Yeah, of
cuts
course.
or stuff, or how do they feel about the finished product?
Yeah, I made the whole process with them because for me they are part of my family. But we we filmmakers always romanticize things because we need all these things. But one fact is my people, Mercedes and Landy, maybe they didn't they hadn't the necessity of do a film. That is my sensitivity, and they are there doing a film because I'm kind of family to them, and I need to do something to remember, you know. So but one funny thing is that when because I for me the color of the film is the sound. It's about perspective, it's about the relationship, about that landscape, and the breath in the close up about them. So when I was recording, I bring them to my film school in a weekend, to make all this breath that for me was very important, that
Hmm.
belongs to them. So when in the morning, Mercedes was taking care of Danish, and I was working with Landy with all these rocks and exercise to make truth in the brief. In the evening, Landy rests with Danish, and I work with Mercedes. And when we finally done all the job, it was at night. Mercedes say, David, can I ask you for see the Landis part? Not me. I don't want to look at myself, but Landis part, and I say, okay, come on, claro, do it, and we put it, no, and I see side by side with her that haunting, that crocodile, all that things that Mercedes at that moment they see only know about that word by listening, like little tales, the Landy did to her to get some sleep and some fun, but it's like exotic tales. So I was suffering that she was like facing the reality of her husband life, but at the final of the part she was like that. I put the lines on and I said, come on, Merche, what do you feel? And she said, wow, it's beauty inside that jungle, the Juanito, this palm. How beauty is that landscape? Wow, man, I never expect that kind of answer because their life are fucking heroic, are fucking tough. So I was thinking about a lot of things, about suffering, about pain, but she also appreciate some beauty in that world. So for me it was a kind of relief because I think it's a raw life, but when you love somebody as I love Mercedes or Landy, I need to get some beauty because if not, it's impossible to me to rest 8 years of my life in something for me. It's not about beauty. So for me, that Mercedes, in the first thought, she got some beauty of that film, destroyed me. I said to her, okay, I need to go to pee to the toilet. And I go to the toilet and I start to cry for first time because I said, wow, man, it was fucking value to me. So I don't know. Also, later it was very fun because Landy was kind of proud with some students of mine in the film school, in the restaurant, getting food. So I hear at Landy was talking with somebody, and he talks like, "Wow, we do that film that express a lot. All these birds. It's like being in the camp, and also, and David is very passionate and do that. But." the next one we will be rich and we will be able to do it in color. And I say, Landy, no, black and white is an option. It's not a lack of budget, you know. It was funny. Okay.
Well, David, I don't want to take up much more of your time. I really want to thank you for letting us show the film, and thank you for spending this time with us today.
It's an honor, man, and thank you very much all that people that is in the cinema sharing this time, not only viewing the film, also standing here with us in this conversation. I think cinema is about sharing time. So thank you very much to be with us, and see you soon.